Black, black, black.
Welcome to
Instant Discussion!
Today we're discussing...
Titanic 2!
No, we're not. We're discussing The Wolf of Wall Street.
It's like Hamlet 2.
Our first film of...
Titanic 2.
First film of 2015. Welcome to the new year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Happy Chinese New Year!
This film was from 2 years ago now.
What?
Yeah, 2013.
Yeah, 2013.
Oh, yeah. It was released...
I mean, it was released
Christmas.
December 25th, 2013, so really a year ago. Yeah, it was in theaters a year ago. So,
He's peeling his wiener.
Yeah,
Wikipedia describes this as a black comedy. Again, I still don't like that description of it. It's mostly just white people in this movie.
It should be a dark comedy.
Like, I did not...
Yeah, it should be called dark comedy.
It really should be. They need to change that description
because
on everything.
I think
that forever.
I think like Undercover Brother when I hear black comedy.
Yeah, that's a good black comedy. Any Tyler Perry movies are black comedies.
Yeah,
and Chris Rock movies, black comedies. But which don't even need to label as black comedies, only because there are not enough black actors in most white movies, mainstream movies there. So that's the reason that you've got that label on there. But to label something with dark comedy explains it. Why do you have to say black as dark for that? It's not black.
It's like that one Robin Williams film.
It's a dark comedy.
Yeah.
Is that a black comedy? Is that called a black comedy?
I think they are. Like we keep running across it. Yeah, World's Greatest Dad.
Is that a black comedy?
Black comedy. All of these are described as black comedies.
Fight Club is technically a black comedy.
No, it's really anyway. So it's described as a black comedy, which is it's just
psychological thriller.
So directed by Martin Scorsese, and this seemed to be one of his most comedic films.
Yeah.
Or at least the comedy was more throughout. And hit a level on there.
It was a really funny movie.
Though it's because it's Martin Scorsese, it's a more serious role for Jonah Hill.
Oh yeah.
Not like just like slapstick comedies, but he had already been nominated for an Academy Award with Moneyball, so he's already Academy Award nominee Jonah Hill, starring Leonardo DiCaprio again, who Scorsese
and Superbad, right?
A couple. Yeah, he was nominated for Superbad. No, that was Kids' Choice Awards.
Oh. He got slimed out.
Yeah, he got slimed. And it's got Matthew McConaughey because was the
And you saw him in the commercials.
Yeah.
Like they show it like Matthew McConaughey and Leonardo DiCaprio.
I'm glad he wasn't in this more, but this was during the McConaissance. During the height of that, he had already done Mud at the beginning of the year. Got the Dallas Buyers Club, and then had the cameo in this one, and then went on to do True Detective.
Yeah, you're right. I'm glad he wasn't in there as much.
Yeah, McConaughey's still doing well, but that character...
That wig was fantastic.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was horribly fantastic. Yeah. But the character was a fun character that needed to be there to be the kind of model that that Leonardo DiCaprio aspired to be.
He reminded me of American Psycho guy.
Kind of? Yeah, he's having too much fun.
But it would add a little bit more fun, and you're not as fucked up. But
yeah, but cool to see him. And he's like on top of the world, and then crash, just loses everything. That's why we don't see him again, because he lost, and he didn't. He wasn't able to pick himself up again the way that Jordan Belfort was.
Used cars.
An interesting thing about this movie too is that it doesn't flash at the beginning of the screen based on a true story as some films like this would.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are lots of people who are more in touch with the financial world that know about Jordan Belfort and follow and knew of him. But even though he spanned through his career, happened through my lifetime, I didn't really know about him.
Yeah.
You do get it at the very end credits where it says based on the book by Jordan Belfort. You're like, hey, that's the name of the character, so it must be the same guy. I'm sure I saw those commercials though at the end there. You can get rich too and go to my seminar.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure I've seen those back in the day.
Yeah, I ended up looking him up after on YouTube and watching some of his stuff. He's such a douchebag.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
I haven't watched any of it.
Yeah, he's a terrible person. And that's what we get to see in this movie. Have you seen this before?
No.
Have you seen this before?
Nope.
What? And you picked it?
Yeah, because I wanted to see it really bad.
I saw it in theaters.
And I just heard nothing but good things.
Yeah, I got like all the nominations and everything. Yeah, good. It's Scorsese too, so of course it's gonna get nominations.
$100 million budget.
Yeah, cost $100 million. That's for all the actors you gotta pay,
and because it fucking lasted 18 hours.
It's not a short movie at all. It's 180 minutes. I was 45 minutes into the movie, and I'm like, well, I got 2 hours and 45 minutes left of this film.
Well, what happened was I was doing laundry, so I stopped, and I noticed it was 55 minutes, and I was like, wait, we're not even halfway through? Like, this could wrap up, potentially,
and then since I had seen it before, I had paused it partway through, and I fell asleep watching it, and then I go back to the part I was watching, and I'm scrolling through, and I go towards the end, because I'm like, I'm pretty much almost the way through. No, I'm not even halfway through. Okay.
Because of my scheduling and scheduling conflicts,
you don't have a solid 3 hours to watch a movie.
With every movie, I always check how long it is.
Yeah.
So that I know I can plan when I'm gonna watch it, and I'm like, fuck, 3 hours! Oh, Jesus Christ! And I'm like, okay, not watching that one today, so I ended up watching like another film instead.
Yeah.
And then today, I literally watched it before I came here.
You just barely had 3 hours.
Yeah, I had like 3.5 hours of downtime at my house, and I was just like, fuck, alright, I guess I get to sit down, grab something to eat.
Yeah.
Maybe
when I go to a theater to see a movie, I'm usually, I'll check the showtime sometimes, but usually I'm just expecting it to be at least 3 hours for a movie, to allow that much, because nowadays so many
allowing that much,
yeah.
Makes sense.
No, just so many movies are that long. But
it's nice to see that they do that, because they don't really do that anymore, because they want the 90 minutes. Like, they don't want to take chances on a 3-hour film because they want to make as much money as they can.
Well, they're getting a lot longer with these films because people are getting used to it, but I think that usually you cut it down to an hour and a half to 2 hours.
I think the sweet spot's the 2 hour mark, yeah.
It usually is, and I think for most films, you're going to want to see... It's going to be shorter because that's going to be more palatable to the audiences. Also, you can get more screenings in a day, so you can make more money with it.
That's a big thing, though.
But the thing is, when particularly The Aviator, one of the more recent films of Martin Scorsese, and the last one that was a biopic starring Leonardo DiCaprio as well, similarities to that. I felt that movie was too short and that it could have gone on longer. There's more of the story to tell that we didn't get. And so when I saw this in theaters, I liked that it was that long. It didn't feel like it was dragging to me, and I loved seeing so much of his story. I felt like it was more complete. So... for me, being a fan of Scorsese's work and also these biopics and the stuff they did, I'm glad that I got to see a longer version of it because I felt the other ones were too short.
And it never got boring. Like, a lot of movies that are 3 hours, you're like, you could have cut out 40 minutes.
Yeah.
But, like, honestly, there's almost nothing that they could have cut out because I enjoyed every single part.
I think the drugs helped.
Yeah, I don't think
keep the energy up.
Yeah.
All the naked women.
Yeah.
Boobies. Yeah. That was very important.
It was getting when it was in theaters,
so
it was
hot
getting
too.
Criticized for people were calling it a porn just because of all the sex that was in there.
Yeah, but they didn't show penetration. What the fuck?
No. They did show Jonah Hill taking out his dick and started masturbating.
It is less porn than a lot of horror films.
He was masturbating.
Like, legit.
So better shot than a lot of horror films. Yeah.
And you know what? I would have whipped it out and started beating off to her too. She was beautiful. Oh.
That's why you're not allowed at those parties.
That's true.
Yeah.
So you're not invited to my party.
You're playing a...
Now you just find it as a sign of disrespect if he doesn't do that.
Right? Yeah. It's just like going to Japan.
You don't think she's attractive?
I know, we're playing
they didn't burp after their meal. Oh.
Yeah. Alright, so first impressions of the movie.
He put his heels on the table? First impressions?
Yeah, or like, I guess have your... somewhat of the start of it. I like this that it started with the commercial for the company.
Yeah, I like how it started. Like, it started off,
and you get to see the height
I don't know
of
why
what he's at.
It
shows,
I never remember the beginning of
it shows him at his height in the very beginning, where he's
top of the world. That's what I like, because if they would have just start off it being slow,
that's
it would have been kind of shitty.
Know what's coming.
But when you're like, boom, this guy's a fucking baller, the richest dude, and blah blah blah, and then it's like, he's so humble now.
How did he make his money?
And let me show you how it happened.
Yeah.
Another thing that's very interesting about it is because it's told by, in the narrator of the movie is Jordan Belfort, so it's told in his voice, so everything is always positive towards him.
Yeah.
No matter what he does, it's all shown in a positive light. It's like, look how awesome I am. This is how I became this awesome. And yeah, I struggled here with a little bit of times, but I'm strong. I'm determined. I'm gonna get through this. So that was, I think that was cool.
Did they break that narration at some point?
I don't think they did. I think it kept pretty strong with that. He went back on the tales when he...
Because I know that a lot of movies, when they have it like at the beginning, when it's like, this is where their life is at this point, and then they rewind, right?
Yeah.
And I know a lot of movies will rewind, and then we'll go through it, and then once they hit that point again, they cut the narration out.
This was pretty constant, and even...
It's like an increase in the stakes, because, now this is currently happening. Whereas it's kind of a weird movie effect that occurs to people.
If I remember correctly, the narration continues throughout the entire film until the end. It goes away with stuff's going on in the film, but the narration is present at any time period in the film. Yeah. Also, who
was narrating that ending with the tennis courts?
Him. He was narrating, and he was saying, "Thank God I was rich," and I was afraid for a moment, but then I forgot that I I was rich,
and then you could buy whatever. So,
and then he's all fine in the end.
So the narration, it reminds me of what's that Hunter Thompson movie again? Fear and Loathing.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, kind of like that.
It kind of just it's like okay, like straight up narration, then. And it was still truthful.
It's honest because you're getting more insight into that character, but the movie doesn't cut away to other characters unless it's something directly relating to something going on with him. But it doesn't stay extended away from him. We follow.
Yeah, it's like it's almost limited perspective.
Yeah,
almost.
The only cutaways are really like when he says, "And I'm being followed by the FBI." Which it cuts away to them for a bit and then goes right back.
Yeah.
And when he's on the phone with them in the other room, like they cut to that, but I think it's pretty limited perspective.
You know what? It reminded me of was like Goodfellas and Casino.
Yes.
When you do like, it's kind of like okay, here's what happened. Here's what I then found out. They do a lot of that. Like
they do that.
And he was fucking her the entire time, and then this happened.
That story of the receptionist that slept with everyone in the office.
To the guy. Yeah, like that.
He killed himself 3 years later. But anyway.
Yeah. That reminds me a lot of Goodfellas and his whole style.
Horrifying.
But I like that because like he doesn't give a shit. It's like whatever, he fucked her too, and it's life.
Yeah.
He's balling.
Yeah, very oldly concerned with himself there. But
the movie made me want to try Coke. I still have never tried Coke. I mean, I never will because I'm too old, but...
It made it seem like that's the key to success.
You're never too old for anything, Tony.
Yeah. If you're 95 and doing Coke, you're probably too old. I'm just going to say not a good idea.
No.
If you want to...
It's the best way to go out, right?
If you want to go out with it. But I'm saying if you don't plan on going out with it.
Okay.
I'm saying it might not be a good idea to do it then if you plan on living the next day.
Because I'm old.
Yeah, no, when you're old, you can do all the drugs you want. It's cool, but you need to...
Do you ever see Little Miss Sunshine?
Yeah.
When you're old, you're dumb not to do it.
But you need to understand that you're probably not going to live through it, especially something like cocaine, especially if you have any sort of heart condition there. Yeah, whatever, it's fine. But I'm saying if you're,
Yeah.
But when you're young, you could probably take it a lot better. So if you do the cocaine...
I'm just saying, I'm not going to sit around and not enjoy life. So if I get to
that
point, I'm going to enjoy life by doing drugs. And if I happen to go out that way, well...
I think you might want to do more downers than uppers then.
And if
there's
there's
your family's heart condition past and how that could be. We'll see with it. But I'm just saying, you need to know the risk when you're going through it. I'm saying now your heart could probably take it a lot better.
Right.
So if you want to do coke and things of that nature, you should
I'm honestly not even that interested.
All right.
Let's do some shrooms next.
Well, let me know. I know a guy.
Episode. Real quick before I forget,
I know lots of guys.
I really like this scene, the whole where they take the lemons.
Yes.
That whole fucking scene was awesome, hilarious, and then like he's like, "Meh," and he does coke like fucking Popeye.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, like the cops come, you're like, "Oh shit!"
Like I made it home without
his Ferrari's.
I somehow made it home without a scratch on the Ferrari.
Oh god, I love that scene. I was laughing.
He was reprising his role from What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I know. Kill him, Gilbert!
Where he went full retard.
You never go full time.
There's
so
discussions
many
about the
good
midgets
scenes.
and stuff in there. There's some good parts in there.
You know, another one of my favorite parts is just the whole thing at the very beginning when he jumps on those pinks and everyone's listening to him and he's just selling shit to people.
Yes.
And like they're quiet and I was like on my like quiet like, and they're just like, how did you do that? Oh god, that was such. And then right when you do that, you know you're like, oh shit, like he's gonna fucking take. Oh god, yeah. It's so good.
I love those scenes, but the first time I watched this movie, I was getting a lot of flashbacks to working.
Too bad you didn't know that earlier from a scene that. Oh wait.
Yeah.
Showed at the beginning of the movie.
I was getting like flashbacks to when I was working for a certain bank that I will name right here, Bank of America, which was really terrible and was defrauding everyone out of their homes. Anyway, when I was working for their call center for a bit of time where we were trying to get people to pay their mortgages on the loans that they wrote that they knew were bad mortgages to begin with, they were going to default on, and so they were getting us to call them to make interest-only payments so that they can keep defrauding them more and not hate it. Worse, anyway, terrible place, but it made me a flashback to that of just these banks ripping people off and the people in the financial industry.
Yeah.
It's horrible people. Yeah, but we had even the things when they were doing the training thing and they're laughing at the guy on the phone and they're having everyone like telling them how to do that.
He's like,
that was my training at Bank of America.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you had people like listening in on the call and just like, we're gonna have this person do the call and we'll all just listen to people like laughing at the people on the phone who are losing their homes and all this. It's terrible. But now
so every time you hear for training purposes.
Yeah. Oh, it's horrible.
People are laughing at you.
They're all laughing at you. They're all gonna laugh at you. But now I think I've had more distance from it, and so this time watching the movie I didn't get any of that. But the first time it hit a little hard.
You bastard.
But that's what it's like. Yeah, I can't believe I did that for the short amount of time that I did do that. But I couldn't live with myself, and I had to leave that work. And I'm so happy.
No, I thought you were gonna say you killed yourself.
I would have if I had stayed there.
Okay.
I
couldn't live with myself anymore. I couldn't be a telemarketer.
So other favorite parts of the movie?
Pump and dump.
I think you guys covered it actually.
Yeah, good stuff.
You know what else I really like is I just liked his speeches. Yep, they were really. And the thing is, like, he's such a douchebag, and what he's doing is just so fucking wrong. But when he does his speeches, you're like, it's like Braveheart.
He justifies his morality on it a lot, and even when his wife said, why are you doing this to the people who can't afford this? Why can't you do it to the rich people? So because they're too smart to do it. He's like, wait a second, I could do this. So he switches it around as soon as he gets that wake up call, and he doesn't defraud the poor people as much. He goes after the people who have more.
Yeah,
money.
But it's just because he's selfish. He doesn't give a shit about the poor people.
Yeah, but he's still justifying it a little bit more.
In his own mind.
He had more morality when he was
eliminated and eventually eliminated the middle class.
Yeah. No, and eventually he's totally screwed up, but every step of the way it's justified to him, and because we follow this, then you learn that, and I love that about it because there aren't people who are born evil. You're corrupted over time, and
Puerto Ricans.
It's all justified to yourself. So when he first is starting there, and he's having the meeting with McConaughey. Mm-hmm. And he's saying, you can make you're making all the money that you can. That's the most important part. It's like, yeah, but if you can help the clients along the way make money, then that's all advantageous for everyone, right? Wrong. No. So he goes in with that intention of, I want to make a bunch of money, but I'm going to do it helping these people make money. It's good for both of us. And then gets corrupted and is like, well, I could make more money for myself if we do rip these people off. Okay. But then still's kind of justifying himself in there, like, I can help these people pay off their loans, but he's having fun. He doesn't really care because of that phone distance. Yeah. When you don't have the face-to-face to it, then it's easier.
They're not real people.
Off. Yeah, there's just that person on the phone.
And at the beginning, I mean, when you look at the entire movie, I think really what ended up driving him is just him developing that addictive personality.
Yes.
Yeah. All he wanted to do was fuck and do coke and get fucked up, and
he gets addicted to the drugs, the sex, and the money.
Yeah,
and
it's just
everything needs to fuel it to get more and keep it.
And then
going.
it's like, this is gone. I need more. I'll do whatever I can.
Mm-hmm.
And I like when he smokes crack for the first time.
And he probably yeah.
I got a present for you.
He's smoke crack.
We need to go running. We need to run right now.
He seemed to care about his relationships that he was in.
Yeah, at the beginning.
He definitely did.
He cared about it. Even at the end of the relationship.
At the end, he was like trying to hold on to it, even though
he didn't want to stop having sex with other people.
Yeah,
but he did want to keep being in those relationships.
The only relationship he didn't care about was his first wife.
He cared about his first wife.
Yeah, at the beginning.
He did, but he
did. He cared about her.
But he was upgrading like the
at the moment that she found out at the end. She says, "I swear I didn't think you'd find out. I swear I thought you were away. Believe me, I want to be with you. I didn't think you'd know."
And he's like, Venice. We were gonna go to Venice.
Yeah, that was the second one on that. So I think the way he was pleading with her in that one, like, he didn't want
to hurt her feelings, but he didn't.
No, it seemed like though he would. I think he'd be fine if he was still married to her the whole time. He could still live this lifestyle and do that and still be with all these other women as long as she was okay with it. But he wasn't.
Well, she found out though.
Yeah.
And then he's cutting his losses and he's upgrading.
So we just didn't get to learn what would have happened if she hadn't found out.
Yeah.
But because she's gonna find out eventually.
Oh God, when he was talking about it just like it's kind of like sums up who he was during his bachelor party.
Yeah.
Just nonstop sex, drugs, and then he had to take penicillin before he consummated the marriage.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
He's still
That
considered
line,
so
that,
fucking
that line was so good. And it was 2 shots.
Yeah, he had 2 shots. A double shot of penicillin.
Because he's considerate about his wife. Also doesn't want to catch it from her again. It's like, it's good clean. Yeah.
There's so many good parts. This is such a good movie. I wasn't bored at all at any point.
No. Yeah.
I was
great watching this Star Wars. Were you bored? Did you find slow parts of it?
Yeah, there were portions where I was just kind of going along for the ride.
Okay.
It wasn't.
Was it how long of time was it in those ones? Or?
Well, it's
like had you not been watching this?
It was
for this. Would you have turned away or turn it off if you hadn't been watching it?
No, it's not one of the movies. It's not a movie I'd turn off, but it's definitely not a movie I'm gonna ever rewatch.
It's a long movie to rewatch.
I don't think I will ever see this movie again.
I don't think I would have rewatched it if it weren't for watching it for this, but I'm glad that I got to rewatch it for this one.
I could do it, bro.
I did it.
I'll do it right now.
It's just I don't rewatch.
There were
movies because I don't have the time.
I mean, my enjoyment. I mean, it was like very plateaued through a lot of it. There were spikes in there, but it was fairly plateaued. But I was still like going along for the. Going along for the ride is like the perfect phrase to say.
Okay.
Because I'm like having a good time. It's just
it's like you're on a train and you're just.
I'm not laughing.
The train keeps going. Sometimes it speeds
like
up or
Mr.
slows
Toads.
down, or like the train will get like almost derailed at certain points.
Yeah,
but it still keeps going.
It's going.
The train's not going to derail or explode and like fall off a snowy cliff or anything. Like the train.
Yeah.
You're just on that train and you're going to keep.
I'd
going
say it's
on
more
that
like
train.
Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. It's like
you make it from the
fun.
start of the train all the way to the end of the
train.
It's
more like a train in the snow.
Yeah, it's just like
Okay, so
It's more like a train that pierces snow.
this train will not stop.
But going along how you're saying he cares, I think it's just like he has that, the original who you are, as you're growing up. He has those original morals. Like he really, really wants to have his kids, but he really doesn't because
he doesn't.
That would if he was a single dad, he wouldn't be able to fuck, do coke. He wouldn't be able to take care of the kids. He doesn't do shit with them anyway.
He wants to have the kids. He does not want to take care of the kids. He doesn't want to spend time with the kids.
That's because he still has, those original ethics that he grew up in.
He's got those. Those are strong embedded in him to be a good family man. At least in title only, a good family man.
Yeah.
But not really putting into practice any of that stuff.
You might say a family guy.
He wants to be a family guy.
Yeah. Diarrhea.
And I'm of The Simpsons, and so he wanted.
You can say I have a family.
He even says in it that I've got drug addiction, I've got sex addiction, and all that. He admits to his addictions, but does
and then he tries
nothing
to make out with the ant.
with his aunt. It does nothing to stop any of those addictions. He knows he has them. He admits he has a problem, but he's happy with it. He's perfectly fine living in that. He doesn't make any effort to stop those addictions.
I will say, I think I didn't find the humor in a lot of the film.
I was laughing the whole time.
Personally, and the fact that I didn't and I was still along for the ride is very impressive.
Yeah,
because I didn't even think that there was that much.
It works great as a drama,
but
and that's I think most of the comedy comes from the outrageousness of it and how crazy it is. And
that's
why the juxtaposition of culture in certain ways. But
that's why I didn't.
And there's just
it was as ridiculous. I think the comedy felt like the same comedy in the one with the guy in the keeping the eyes open in the thing.
Trailer.
Clockwork Orange. It feels like the same level of comedy as Clockwork Orange. Of the ridiculous craziness that they're going. I think the narration is what adds the comedy to it. And I'm just hanging out with my friends and doing this thing, the blokes and the thing.
But what I like is just there's little side stories, kind of like Quentin Tarantino, that you could probably take out but are funny.
Yeah.
Like with Jonah Hill when he's like, I heard you and your cousin.
Yeah.
And he's like, sitting there explaining about fucking his cousin.
That's the other thing.
Like, they could have just kept that out.
Comedy.
Yeah, but that part was like little things like that. There's little side stories.
I mean, funny. Sure. I mean, she's my cousin, but like not like.
But I don't want anybody else to fuck.
No, I mean, like, I guess she's.
My brother's.
Her mother is the brother of my dad, but like. But that's it.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not gonna let somebody else fuck my cousin, right?
Yeah, what was that gay bar called or whatever?
Yeah, he was out.
Yeah,
I wasn't there. I mean, yeah, I like to dance.
But I mean, I was high, and I like to dance, so I might have danced with people.
There's so many little stories thrown in there.
Jonah Hill did a good job.
He did a good job. It was silly, but it was good in that sense. All right, so star ratings on the movie.
5
5 stars.
5. Did we talk about our least favorite parts?
Did we?
We did.
Okay, least favorite parts before you get first.
Nothing. 5.
I don't really have a least favorite.
Yeah, I didn't
part
have a
of
least
it.
favorite part. Oh,
I don't know.
if they could have put everything that was in there and just condensed it shorter, but it would have been kind
I
of
don't
hard.
want. I don't want them to do that because they need to cut something out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's me.
Yeah, you would have wanted to
Condensing
condense
it.
it.
Yeah, condensing it, and I can't really say anything about because like the comedy is a valid genre and medium of comedy. It's just I'm not affected by it.
Yeah, but that's the other thing is when this film's they don't advertise this film as the new comedy from Martin Scorsese. Like there are films that they advertise as
like when you
this is the new comedy.
Like seriously, when you read Black Comedy, I don't know if it actually catch it on film. Like I don't know if my facial expression was there, but I just was like, this was a comedy.
Yeah, and that's fine for me.
Seriously,
I don't
think I went, this was a fucking comedy. I have no idea. I thought it was a drama with some Shakespearean relief in it. That's that's how I.
Those are my favorite kinds of films. Is to not worry about the genre of a movie. And to just say, this is a story, and you're just watching this story.
Yeah.
And sometimes you could say, I'm in the mood for a comedy, so I'm going to look for something, and then you're going to look for a silly comedy, like Seth Rogen comedy.
I'm really glad I didn't think that this was a comedy, because if I went
you would have been so disappointed.
I would have been so fucking disappointed.
And I think even the first time watching it, I didn't think it was as funny as the second time watching it. And this time I found more of the humor, or at least I found myself laughing out loud more.
I didn't even know it was a black comedy, and I was laughing the entire time. There's so many funny.
It's kept you out there, but it's just,
I was laughing.
Just a good movie.
Yeah.
So condensing.
And the comedy styling doesn't work for me.
Yeah, but that didn't matter when you were watching it at first.
Doesn't matter.
It didn't affect you as you were watching.
It affected my rating. I mean, if it did, if the
comedy hit you more, you would have liked it.
Knowing that the intent of it was a comedy, I mean, I gotta say,
we don't know that the intent of it was a comedy.
All right, fine.
This is Wikipedia saying it's a black comedy. It's not saying Martin Scorsese set out to make a comedy. I think he set out.
Well, then I wish it was either more.
It's a biopic.
I wish it was more interesting then.
Okay, there you go. That's good. So there's nothing like specific scenes that are just
like Leo's character could have been more interesting, more depth.
What?
Had more depth. Had more depth. Look, just because you fucking do blow all the time off of like hookers' asses doesn't make you interesting, all right?
I think the person didn't have more depth too. Maybe the person didn't have more depth than we saw on there. Jordan Belfort. I think if it was a fictional film, you could have given them some more depth than that.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's just
as a film.
As a film, sure. Yeah. Okay. You would. Yeah. We'll look more. That's fine. That's fine. So 5 stars.
Fuck yeah, bro.
I would have given this one 5 stars. When I was rewatching it, I was thinking I didn't find any reason for me not to give it 5 stars. But I saw that I had rated it 4 stars on Netflix, and I'm gonna stick with the 4 stars because I think that's.
So you gave Snowpiercer 5 fucking stars, and you're giving this.
You know why?
And how many awards did this fucking mean? Goddamn.
How many did it win? How many did it win?
Or at least how many did it was nominated for?
What's
its a ton.
Snowpiercer just came out. We haven't seen it.
That's not gonna do shit.
What percentage of a tomato is it?
What percentage of the
it's
tomato?
Probably lower than fucking stupid Snowpiercer was.
It's not up there yet?
No, it's not a tomato. No, I need to go to the reception on this and see the accolades, box office.
I'll give you my while you're looking that up. I am going to give it a 3.
3?
Yeah.
That's sad.
A 77? Jesus.
Yeah, 77%.
Lower.
That's strong. That's a strong rating.
Way lower than that piece of shit.
But Snowpiercer probably had less people watching it. And so
it probably had a bunch of Korean people. They probably had...
That's racist. But so this has a lot more people watching it. It's got the eye on the world, so more people are seeing it. I think 77 is pretty strong for anything.
For having so many critical eyes watching it.
Yeah,
that's
anything in the 70s, and it's a, Martin Scorsese film, Academy Award-winning director, all of that. Yeah, it's a good stuff there.
It's amazing.
Yeah, for 3 stars.
Yeah, I'm not doubting the film, but...
All right. That's it. No, I mean, 4 stars because it missed that special something that it could have had, like a train. If it had a magic train that speeds through the world and pierces the snow.
No, okay,
it's missing a magic train.
That made no sense with, in the world and the laws that we have.
What movie are we talking about in this episode?
Wolf of Wall Street. I'm thinking I could have given it 5 stars if it had a magic train in it.
Okay.
But there was no magic train.
I think that would have helped me too, maybe.
Yeah. But not every movie can have a magic train in it, I guess.
I think on my end note for this is that it just isn't a movie for me. I think, if you know what I mean.
By there are various counts. Apparently, people can't agree on this. It had between 506 and 569 uses of the word fuck. In the movie. So it's one of the most uses of the word fuck in any film, and which is great when those get nominated for Academy Award for Best Picture. And was originally supposed to get he had to edit out sexual content and nudity that was originally in a longer cut of this movie apparently, because it was getting an NC-17 rating. So there's less nudity and sex than Scorsese wanted in this film.
How is there 60 fuck differences?
Because people can't count.
63.
Like, did they not count somebody?
That was so great.
This is why I think it is, because a lot of them are over in like hearing the main actors speak it. When they're in those rooms with the call centers and everyone's calling in the background, there's a lot of extra, and not just fuck.
Or when they're slurring, when they're all fucked up, they're like, "Who's fun?"
Yeah, do you count that one? Yeah. Some people might, and some not that. But still,
it was banned in Nepal and Kenya.
Oh, so sad.
Malaysia.
Okay, cool. So in Kenya, they're like, "Whoa, this is too much sex and drugs for us."
It was banned in Malaysia because it shows planes in it, and they don't like to talk about planes anymore. They just erase those. Disappear. Yeah, excessive use of swear words.
And their scenes have been cut in India and in Singapore. It's been relegated to only a handful of theaters.
Fucking Indians.
Well, at least it's still
because of its restrictive rating.
Yeah. Yes.
Have I provided excellent customer service?
Alright. So next week.
Next week, Wolf of Wall Street 2.
Nope.
The Wolfening.
Nope. Oh. There will be more blood. The sequel to There Will Be Blood. Next week's our 100th episode, so if you're not counting any of the bonus episodes or any of that.
Boner episodes?
Just going based on the episode counting titles that we've had. Next episode's episode 100. So just like we did with episode 50, we're not going to give you another movie. We're just going to talk about the discussions. We're going to do a look back. We're going to look at our last ratings and everything that we've done, and maybe see if we've rethought any of the films. So if you have anything to write in with us, you can write in and tell us or comment, and we'll talk about that. But if not, just check out the thing. And thanks for watching. And thanks for watching.
Or we'll kill you.
No. Oh. Thanks for watching all 99 of these episodes that we've done so far. Thanks.
Hardcore following.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.